Hey, God bless you, everybody. I'm not going to be before you too long. I just want to quickly come in here and tell you what the Lord showed me in regards to so-called African Americans. So, in this dream, it was more like I was asleep, and the Lord was just showing me pictures of things. So, I'm going to tell you what He showed me. Then I'm going to interpret what each one means, and then I'm going to put it all together for you. Okay, or we'll just see how it goes. All right, so I was asleep, like I said, and the first thing the Lord showed me was the date 4/24/24. At least in a dream or while I was asleep, I thought it was a date, and I said to myself, wow, look at the double 24s in here. Second thing He showed me, and these seem like they're not related at all, but they are, and I'll put it together for you. Second thing that He showed me was an egg, as if it was being cooked, and then it was sunny side up, and then I saw the egg turn over. Then lastly, what He showed me was there is I'm not going to say he's African American, but I'm going to say it is a black man, and he's a real person. I'm not going to say his name. He showed me this black man who was a media personality, and he was speaking. It was like he was doing his show, and he was speaking out to the audience, but he had this small gun. It was a little black gun, and I was looking at it like why does he have that? And then I was marveling at how small it was. It seemed like the smallest gun I had ever seen. And then that was the end of what the Lord had showed me. So of course I asked the Lord, what does this mean? And then He began to put it together for me. So what God was showing me is that the yoke has been broken over the minds mentally over many so-called African Americans, and more to come. So God has been broken the mental enslavement of African Americans, so-called African Americans, and He's given them, those who are already, that yoke has been broken and are yet to be broken. He's giving them the ability to be able to judge between what has been said and what has been done. And He's given them the ability to have to put into place comparative analysis. Now these are His exact words, comparative analysis. And the reason I'm kind of chuckling is because I know I don't talk like that. Comparative analysis, to be able to see the differences and the similarities in a thing, and then from there be able to make decisions and choices on whatever it is that you need to make. And this is where the number 24 comes into play, because the 24 can mean many things, but 24 has to do with the elders. In this particular case, has to do with the elders, like 24 elders in Revelation. So the elders, when you think of an elder, there's somebody that has wisdom, and they have that whole comparative analysis within them. They're able to compare and judge, and this is what Moses, he put 70 elders in charge so that all the load wasn't on him, so that they could judge matters, and make judgment on it and make decisions upon that. And so this is what God is giving the so-called African American. The mental block has been broken. This is why the egg yolk was broken. We typically think about, when you hear people preach and stuff, you don't think about it as an egg yolk. like the yoke, like a heavy burden. But God is using a pun. He's using wordplay to illustrate this point. And so lastly, but what you saw, what I saw was, lastly, was the media personality. Because we all know the media is being used to the media is being used to push and pull people into a certain way, to kind of corral them or yoke them into a certain way, to act a certain way or to do a certain thing. It's like they're putting that out there to influence. Nowadays we hear about influencers and this, that, and the other thing. So this is why the media personality, like I said, it's a real person, but I'm not saying the name. This is why the media personality had a weapon to try to force upon people a certain way or thing that they wanted them to do, to influence the masses of people, to influence specifically the so-called African American people, because they will use someone that looks like us in order to influence us. So, but and the weapon signified, like, they're weaponizing the media. We already know that. We already know this. But this specific person is put into place as a weapon to weaponize their influence upon the people. So this is a little bit of, it's like two parts here. God is saying that he's showing you the move of God, of what he's doing, but he's also showing you the counter offensive to try to keep people in this state, this mental state where they can't think for themselves. I want to hear what you have to say, but I also have my own mind to be able to compare and contrast of what you're saying, to see, okay, this is, like I said before, this is, God has given us the ability to have to use comparative analysis, and he's also given us the ability to judge between what has been said and what has been done. So with that said, I'm going to sign off, and I love you. And I always say something at the end, I don't remember. Like, I love you, and until we meet again. All right, take care.